I do like the layout very much. I like the communications room off of the one hallway there. I think it's just a great layout. This is obviously based on the game mechanics and how when you walk around the ship. So I think it's great. The fact that it has more bunks than the Falcon is kind of interesting to me, but I mean, I'm flipping back and forth between the Falcon and this one, comparing the size of the seats in the cockpit. Yeah, so this does make the Ebon Hawk quite a bit smaller if you do that.
Well, it says 1 square is 1.5 meters, and so that means that the cockpit is 3 meters long.
Yeah.
Which is still pretty big, or 2 and a bit, or again, it's well, okay. So the problem is, Stuart, and I've read about this when I was working out the scaling originally. The inside of the model does not fit in to the outside.
Of course it doesn't.
Of course,
that happens a lot in science fiction.
Yeah, and video games, they can ignore the rules very quickly. I think it's pretty clear that the concept can't fit into the box of the cockpit. So the next picture is the original scale. That's how small it is. And now we've seen the deck layout doesn't quite fit, doesn't quite work, Yeah. So the next picture is a wireframe, and at the top you can see a person. That is a scale, as we do on Trekyards and Fleetyards. That is a 6-foot Battlestar Galactica pilot with his arms outstretched. That is a real human scale. We tend to go by real human scale, but unfortunately we have other numbers to deal with and an internal set to deal with. But that's how much a real person is. And you can see you could fit 2 people into the cockpit with his arms down, sitting down. It would be pretty cramped, but you could. And I think this roughly represents, if you go to the next picture, I think this roughly represents this internal scale that this represents. But Barry built this ship based on the orthos I sent him, and this is a fan. This is an official drawing of the ship. So again, they're slightly off because whatever, you didn't draw it properly or we didn't build it properly, whatever. But I think it's roughly on par, which is great. The problem is that doesn't necessarily work out. So next picture, again, this is the original scale.
Yeah.
The thing is, do you remember we saw that in this picture, the right hand component, the right hand sticking out bit, can fit 3 bunks, right? 3 people easily. The next picture, as we can see, is me putting 3 people with space in between, and there's pictures of the bunks later on. I've got exact pictures. And tell what Stuart, if you just jump ahead, but without the audience, just to be a bit annoying, Stuart, you jump ahead to picture 30, and you can see there is 3 bunks plus quite a bit of space in between.
Okay.
It's pretty spacious, so and we'll get to that in a minute. So that's me super guesstimating. So obviously there's also bulkhead size, so it can't be the exact hair's breadth of the hull. That's a guesstimation with 3 people. I think that's roughly what it would be. And if you put the person in the bridge, obviously now it fits slightly better with the extra scale of the bridge. That's a lot bigger. That's a lot bigger. Jump back to our scale.
Yeah.
Notably smaller. Boom, this scale. What do you think about that?
It's very interesting. I never would have really considered doing that. I love how you do that. I was gonna jump in and say, you know what? Who's to say that the beds are laid out end to end, but it could just represent bunks, right? But
yeah, hence why I had to jump you ahead there.
Yeah. And
again, they don't need to be 6-foot people, but let's say a default measurement, whatever. Again, this is all rough, but clearly that's about what it would be. And I'll tell you what, just the audience, so you know that we're not making shit up. Audience, here's picture 30. You can see how big the bunks are. You can see there's clearly a pillar in between. It's not end to end. There is some space here. And you can see that they exist at the edge with that gradient, and then there's a full bit of space, a full bit of deck space on that side on the other side. So if you jump back to the picture I'm talking to Stuart about, that roughly fits, assuming there's some whole metal dimension as well. I mean, what do you think? It's certainly jumped a hell of a lot more.
Yeah, it seems much more viable now, because I'm just picturing somebody laying down on the floor of the cockpit of the Falcon, and those sizes work absolutely.
And the cockpit certainly feels a lot more realistic now based on the concept art.
Yeah, for sure. Huh.
But that's not the only issue. But we will jump to the next picture, just to give you a sense of how big that would be. Sort of a 3-dimensional angle with a person. So yeah, fits in well. It's yeah. You know, the problem is that bridge is bigger than it is clearly bigger than this picture represents. That bridge had a lot of excess space. And if you, Stuart, and the audience wants to jump to picture 25, look how huge the bridge is. Look how much space there is between the two pilot seats.
Okay. I gotcha. I understand. But what I'm thinking in my head right now is Star Trek Online interiors.
Yes.
Because it's a video game, you got to make it look spacious. You don't want it cramped. You don't want the camera getting lost outside the ship when you're walking around. So what is going on? Is it actually that big, or is it just because of the whole video game dilemma, as we call it, I guess?
Stuart, you answered the question, but I'm still going to go through the question. But you're absolutely right. That is obviously why. Otherwise, it would be way too cramped to play. So you hit that nail on the head. But look how huge that bridge is. And again, this is the cannon inside space. It's huge. I mean, the Millennium Falcon is cramped. This is times bigger. This is huge. And so if you want to go to picture 20, my guesstimation, based on the bridge only, but clearly the bunks don't work now, but the bridge would work.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, it's bigger, Stuart.
Well, yeah, the bunks could still work as far as that goes. I know the people are really small, but you got to think there's bulkheads and metal between you and space.
Yeah.
So this gives more credibility to that kind of thing. So yeah, the bigger size actually makes more sense somewhat. It translates well into the cockpit and to even the sleeping quarters for the bigger size. So
yes. But it's such a huge departure from the original scale.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, jump back to the original scale, 17.
Yeah.
17, that's what the internet says it is. And then 18 is what bunk might be. And then 20 is what the bridge... Now, this is why I say the inside does not fit into the outside. This is one of those few TARDIS ships we can't win. We really can't. Both are canon.
Yeah.
But I wanted to really point that out. If you go to the next picture, 21, this is how it would look roughly with the person. To be fair, though, the ramp now looks if it can take cargo.
Yeah.
But that really ups the scale. I mean, this becomes like a proper freighter rather than a small freighter.
This makes more sense. Honestly, this size, seeing it with the ramp down and knowing that it's a freighter and knowing how much room there's supposedly in the cockpit compared to the Falcon.
Yeah.
The Falcon's designed differently. It's a smaller cockpit. It's
Yeah.
more compact.
Yeah.
So this sizing makes more sense. But my first reaction to this ship was that it was smaller than the Falcon.
Mm-hmm. Mine too.
Based on the guns and the turrets and a whole bunch of stuff. But
well, I'm glad you re-mentioned the guns. The next picture is again that top shot. Look how big the guns. Look how big those top cannons are compared to the Falcon. We know exactly that one person fits into the Falcon, one person fits into the top turrets. It's like 6 times bigger. Just the space to control it. I mean, I know this is also meant to take outside larger ships potentially, so you do blockade runs.
Plus,
that's
it's a
fine.
lot older technology.
True. But it's pretty big. But Stuart, we can't really go by that scale because it's so radically different to what it says online. So let's try and create some sort of consensus here, Stuart. The next picture is sort of, well, it's getting some context. The picture on the left is the Ebon Hawk Wikipedia scale. The middle one is the Wikipedia scale for the class of ship.
Oh.
Which is odd. The reason for that is because the original Wikipedia for the Ebon Hawk scale, and I looked at the citations, was based on the StarWars.com just data file segment from years and years ago. The middle value is from a book that was released not that long ago. It was just ships of the expanded universe and of the universe, and it gave this as the scale. It's about 5 meters bigger, but I think that jump makes a difference. I kind of like that middle value. I think it's a better medium. Because if you look at the cockpit, as well, especially based on the little diagram, I think that's, in terms of a realistic scale, in terms of a non-game scale, I think the middle one works best. What do you think about all that and how they've now changed it like 3 times?
Yeah, it's interesting, and in our line of work here, doing this kind of web series, we find this all the time. They're fictional craft and story-driven elements to the interiors and things. Yes. So it's hard researching this kind of stuff. I do like it's amazing how much difference like 5 meters makes though to the overall mass of the ship. I do think the middle one is more believable, but I still don't think it's big enough. Now that we've seen the 6-foot person outside and the bunks and all that, you've really sold me on the size being bigger than the Falcon by quite a bit. So
this is why this show is fun, and this was a fun one to do renders for, because it does and I thought it'd be fun to put those craft at the bottom. The cannon model of the Pearl Jumper, the Star Fury, the Viper, and the Type 9. The Viper is obviously the Viper and the Star Fury are both one-person craft, so you can exactly scale a person based on its cockpits. The Type 9 is a one-person pilot, but it has back room. A Pearl Jumper can fit 2 people in the cockpit, not spaciously, but with enough room to breathe. So it gives you some real life or other fictional life perspectives of the scales and just some other universes stuffs. But yeah, there you go. And we'll go to the next picture, which is again just the internal diagram. I think this works really well. I think it works really well for the middle one, based on that cockpit. I think there's not a lot of space there. I think that works best. I like this view a lot. It still gives quite a lot of room for things that need to have room, But Stuart, do you want to look at all the internal spaces? Let's visualise these components. We're running quite long here, Stuart, but I want this to be a 2-parter to get people as excited about this ship and this great game. We should go play. I hope you do like this ship, Stuart. You're not just humouring me, because I'm giving you a lot of information here.
I like the ship very much.
Okay, good. So, cool. Next picture is the bridge, which you've sort of already seen a little bit. Pretty damn spacious, and yeah, this is how the concept art translated. I mean, what do you think?
This is, I would say this looks less advanced than the concept art. With concept art had more rounded consoles and stuff in front of the chairs. I think it translated very well, especially the roominess. But as we know, look how far back these other 2 chairs are. Wow.
It's so, I mean, compared to the functionality of the Falcon, they're passengers, they're people behind, they can still see and do everything. They're like, Han, if this was the main Falcon, Han, press a button. Can you hear me? I'm over here. It's like,
it is pretty far. Especially with things going on.
God, yeah.
I don't know, it's just a weird layout for a bridge with those 2 extra chairs. They just don't seem necessary. It'd almost be better to have benches there or something, which aren't necessarily chairs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I love the view in hyperspace, just so 3D and But I do think the concept art is gorgeous. This is 2003 game, and that's fine. Well, this is the Sith Lord. This is the 2004 or 5. But yeah, translate's okay. If you do the next picture, it's a reverse angle. You can see all the consoles, all the Lcars designs, and how all the very much like the Falcon. All of the corridors are circles. You can see the chair detail. Anything to throw out on this?
A lot of consoles back there.
Yeah.
But it looks good. I like the advanced look. Just, yeah.
The next picture is that communications room. You can see it literally has just a cut open segment in the corridor, which I quite like, and it's quite a big room actually. It's surprisingly big.
I was gonna say that's huge too. Way bigger than it should be, I think.
Now you see the slight problem. But yeah, I love it. It's a simple. This almost works scale wise, but again, you shrink it down about 40%, 30%.
Yeah.
And it would, I think, it's wonderful. The next picture is the right-hand side. If you've come out of the cockpit, it's the right-hand side of the communal area. Again, just stuff going on. The next picture is the left-hand side with the very Return of the Jedi-esque holographic circle thingy that the crew can get behind and plan a mission. You've got those 3 chairs there for crew. Big spacious area, good for meeting people. Just a good crew area. We spent quite a lot of time in this bit. It's a good mission area.
Yeah, very roomy. Very roomy. Again, that's the Star Trek Online effect.
Yes. The next picture is the bunk space. Pretty low tech sleeping accommodation. Pretty minimalist.
Well, makes sense.
And this is the right hand pod one, but at least you've got some privacy. There is some, you can't see each other when you sleep, at least. But yeah, a lot of excess room, and you can really see the excess here. And nothing here, very little of this is modeled as physical detail. It's all text or bump map. It's very again, old game. I'd love to either have this built in 3D by our team, but it's a hell of an ask, or to see them do it, because to do this to the proper scale, I think I would love to see this in proper 3D. The next picture is the what you noticed was like the hangar bay, the hangar equivalent. This isn't the cargo bay, but it is a cargo bay. But in a game, you also put like bikes here and such. This is the first bay. There's a workbench there on the side, on the right. So a pretty big, spacious area.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm digging these graphics. They're actually pretty good considering.
Yeah, this is because ironically KOTOR 2. There was a mod called the remastered mod, because this game was perfect. This was rushed into production because this was so popular, and they skipped like a good 15% of the levels. They skipped an entire planet and some other stuff that was meant to be pretty damn good, and so a team was rebuilding it and adding it back into the game. And then the company, the developers said, who obviously had long forgotten this project, said, yeah, this stuff's great. So they updated the Steam. Because you can buy it on Steam with all of that content plus 1080p plus 4K plus like graphic enhancements. They literally last year. So this is 1080p. So this is a slightly upped version, which is awesome. Wish it was for the first game as well, but hey. The next picture is the engine room.
Okay, is that a droid behind you?
Yeah, that's I think it's a TR something. That's our main droid that follows us in both games. I can't remember its name, but yeah, that's a nice droid. Cool.
Not much going on in the engine room, is there?
Apart from the engines. Yeah, it's I love this room in a sense because you really can get a sense of the outside reflects the inside. It's these big coils, these big engines, and the hyperdrive thing at the back. Be alright. I mean, I guess it's controlled for somewhere else. I don't know. The next picture is the gunnery climbing frame in the middle of the ship that goes up, and it's funny when I took the screen cap today, the droid was just walking out of the room because I literally went. I'm doing this in the room order that I recorded in, and the droid was coming out of the room, and I'll keep it in the shot. So yeah, that's how you get up to the top gun turret. Very Falcon-esque. The next picture is the sick bay, is a medical bay, single bed, but again it's not a high crew so you wouldn't expect it. Very bright, still some consoles. There's a medical construction workbench on the left,
which can act as another bed if you have another.
Sure. Very minimalist again, but I like this as a sick bay. Mm-hmm. The next picture is the left hand side, the actual cargo bay. And I do recall that there is, in the second game, there's a secret, or even maybe the first game, in one of the games there's a secret component, a secret cabinet thing that you hear and you find some, I'm not going to spoil the game because it's such a great game, but you find secret things in your own ship, which is a great moment. And the mission can go very badly that you get from that, but I won't say any more. The next picture is the left-hand bunks with Kriya, who is not all she appears. And no, it's not that guy. He was not great. But it's Kriya. She basically she's so selfish. She takes up the entire pod by herself. She's like, no, I am this pod. It's just, Kriya, what are you like, eh? And the next picture is a reverse shot. That left-hand corridor is the bridge. The right one is a room. If I go back to the diagram, apparently this room is the storage compartment. Well, okay then. Storage compartments. But in this game, you find a droid in there who's a great droid. And the next picture is the first picture, is the last picture. I've taken you on a whirlwind journey here, Stuart.
Yes.
Tell me what you think of everything. This was a long one, guys, but this is a ship that's quite close to my heart. And thank you so much to Barry Chapman and Matt for making this a reality. And
Absolutely.
me for getting to do it.
Yes, and for torturing me and asking me all these questions. I really like the ship. I think everything about it, the external design, the interior layout, just the detail that was put into it, and the floor plan, and I think it works, except for the sizing. But this is an issue that's ongoing with Trekyards and Fleetyards.
Yeah.
We have issues with sizing all the time.
Well, they have issues. We have to report them.
Yes. So, no, I think it's a great addition to the Star Wars universe. I didn't know it existed, but I really like it. And I would actually consider playing this game now, considering that you said it's available on Steam, right?
Yes, but see, I feel like we should play that together, because I have a Steam link. I could always bring that to your house when I come see you next, and we could do a play. The thing is, the graphics are old as hell. I mean, these are not... But yeah, this and it does have... Oh, we should do a Let's Play of this. I would love to record you playing this game and to take you through it, because it is a wonderful game. Ooh, that sounds... See, I need to come to your house just for that. Or you should come to my house, because I've got it, obviously, I've got... You can play it on the original... I can bring out my original Xbox, Stuart, and we can play on my original Xbox, as it was intended with the crappy controller.
Yeah, doing a Let's Play would be really fun, but I've never really played a lot of Star Wars games. I mean, I played, the Force Unleashed and things like that, but this one, I take it it's very involved, like a... Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I'm definitely interested. I do like the ship. I think it's a great design, and I've seen it landed with the ramp down and things like that, and I think it definitely works. So, yes, I like it.
And how would you say it compared to Love of the Falcon? Because that's a question people are going to ask, and I wanted to throw it out there. How does it compare?
I still like the Falcon more, but that's just because it's
yeah.
Near and dear to my heart. I haven't flown on it. I haven't lived on the ship like you have. So I don't know. We'd have to see. But it's definitely a comparable ship as far as design goes, size goes, things like that. So it's even purpose. I mean, it's the same ship, really.
But fair to say, you like it for different reasons, but you like them both in sort of similar ways, but for different reasons.
Yes, absolutely. I was going to say I couldn't pick a favorite, but it's still the Falcon.
Yeah. Well, I think mine's still the Falcon, just in its classic. I mean, the design is pretty much perfect, but this is more my ship. This is more my personal favourite. The other one's just favourite in terms of design. But this ship, like I say, as a ship guy, to go into this game, because it was, I had Xbox 3. I had an Xbox when the Xbox 360 was out. I got it as my first console. I played Halo, and this was the first games I ever sort of got. And those are pretty in-depth sci-fi games universes to be brought in on. And we didn't have episode 2, we didn't have episode 3, I don't think. So the universe was a lot smaller, and so this game really brought it into a grand scale. And this ship, I really resonated towards. I love the design in itself. It is blocky, but having done these renders, you can still make it look pretty damn good for 2017 for a game that was designed in 2003 for a low resolution thing. And this is a reasonably good high resolution model. Yeah, I have a lot of personal collection of this ship. I really look forward to covering it fully and going over these issues again, but in a much more structured way. I'd love to talk to the designer. That'd be a wonderful experience. There is some great concept art for this ship I haven't included because I want to save some stuff. But yeah, I really like this ship, and the internal's great. The sizing is a problem, but I think people can pick their own. I mean, there's 2 official sizes, and then there's real life scale, and then pick your own, multiple choice. It's fine. And this is the long tease, the 2-part tease for the main episode. And again, thank you so much, Barry and Matt. Teamwork over months and months. Thank you for putting the time in. Because we do this for you guys, those who have lived this as much as I have, those who love it as much as I have. Here it is in 3D, realised because of Team Trekyards, and that's I always think we're the team, we're a family, and it takes more than one of us to make something this good. And then Stuart and his amazing commentary after the fact.
Yeah.
Thank
you.
You're welcome.
Speaking of amazing commentary, if you liked this, please comment below. Tell us what you think of this ship. What do you think of the sizing issues? Things like that. We love hearing from you guys, as always. Also, don't forget to click the like button and subscribe if you're not a member already of the channel, because you want to get more Fleetyards awesomeness. And Trekyards. If you're a Trek fan, we also have Trekyards. Don't forget to visit the Facebook pages as well. Fleetyards and Trekyards. There's lots of great stuff on those.
And Trekyards.com, because that shows our Team Trekyards members, so you can learn more about Barry and Matt when we eventually get his profile up there, because he's quite new to the team, and this is his first big thing, so he'll be up there soon. And if you want to support the show directly, not like they do, but with donations, because that honestly is what keeps the bills covered and the lights on. 2 great ways: either a one-time donation at trekyards.com, click that big donate button, and give just something you think that, if you love an episode, if you love this episode, something that would help keep the lights on, or help us on a monthly basis, be one of our best and biggest and most amazing supporters. $5, a cup of coffee a month, as we always say, or more. Hey, a lot of you give 20. If 520s give us 100, boy, that makes such a difference, and it lets us make more Fleetyards, hitting that 1,000, keeping that 1,000. That's the important thing, not just to hit it, but to keep that 1,000. And you get the more money you give, the more we can do, the more we can develop. It's a win-win, guys. If you can support, but if you can't financially, is there a way, Stuart?
There is. You can share the videos around to people that you like. There's so many sci-fi pages on Facebook that would eat this stuff up. I can't post to all of them. I try, but I'm probably going to miss some. So if you know people that would be interested in this video or any of the Fleetyards videos, once you've checked them all out, be sure to share them on all your social media feeds and all the pages you can think of, and that just gets the word out there and gets more people coming to see us.
So until next time, guys, and thanks for dealing with my ramblings here, Stuart. I am Commander Cockings.
And even a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, I am still Captain Foley.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.